The future of retirement in America. Are we on the brink of retirement renaissance, or do we see stormy seas ahead? Well, in today's episode, we're going to talk about the future of Social Security, taxes, and the stock market. I'm going to give you the optimistic views that are out there, the pessimistic views. I'm going to talk about my opinion, and then at the end of each topic, help you understand how it relates to you and your retirement.
Welcome to the Your Life, Your Money podcast with Scott Searens, teaching you how to thrive in life, wealth, and retirement.
Welcome into another episode of The Retirement Show, all about your life, your money, and your taxes. I'm your host, Scott Searens, and my goal is to help you thrive in life, wealth, and retirement. Well, this episode's coming out during Thanksgiving week. Might come out before, might come out after. You might listen to it before or after. Who knows? I'm not sure about you, but we've got a big Thanksgiving week planned in our household. Thursday, we're actually hosting Thanksgiving dinner for both of our families. So Christy and I are the host. My parents are coming over. Her father's coming over. Her sister and her sister's family are coming over. We are just excited to host. That means that I'm in charge of cleaning because I am not a cook. And so I'm in charge of cleaning, look forward to helping out in that way, but we just look forward to having everybody over. But like I said, big week. So Thursday, everybody's coming over to our place. Friday, we're going to go get the Christmas tree. Friday night, we've got another family party. And then Saturday, we're heading to my small town of Anawan, as there'll be a family get-together at my parents' place. You know, I was talking with a client this week, and we were having discussions about holidays, and both of us just realized, you know, what our favorite holiday was as we were talking about it. And I'll have to say, I think Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. There's no pressure of gifts, and we just get to be with family. And I also just like to take the time to reflect during Thanksgiving. Reflect on what we're thankful for. And I'll tell you what, I'm thankful for a lot of things. I'm thankful for family. I'm thankful for friends. I'm thankful for our relatives. I am thankful for all of our clients. I'm thankful for our health. There's just so much to be thankful for. And I'm thankful for all those things. And I hope that you're having a great Thanksgiving week. And I also hope that you get to take some time just to reflect and just think about those things that you're thankful for as well. I find that being thankful, you know, it helps us lead to having, I'll call it an abundance mindset and an optimistic mindset. And kind of leads us into today, where we're going to talk about the future of retirement in America. And is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? Do we focus on things that we don't have? Or like Thanksgiving, do we focus on what we do have and have that abundance mindset, have that optimistic mindset? You know, because there is plenty of news and information out there. You're always going to be able to find the side that you want to hear. And I guess it comes down to, are you focusing on the right side? When you're watching the news, when you're reading the information, grabbing an article off the internet, are you focusing on the right side? And so today we're going to look at topics like Social Security, topics like taxes, and our third topic will be the stock market. Again, the future of retirement in America. Regarding these topics, we're going to discuss the future of each. I'm going to give you the glass half full information. I'm going to give you the glass half empty views that you can find out there. And then I'm going to let you know which side I sit on and my opinion regarding the future of that topic. So with that, let's dive in. Let's talk about Social Security. And when I say let's talk about Social Security, let's talk about the stability of the Social Security system. So we're talking about the future stability of the Social Security system. Now, so let's first start talking about what maybe some of the pessimistic views regarding the stability of the Social Security system. So some of the pessimistic views out there could be that, you know, there are some major funding challenges and there's some forecasted shortfalls, and that the trust fund is going to run out, that there's an increasing number of retirees versus active contributors, meaning there's more people retiring versus people that are being born and entering the workplace to be able to pay for Social Security. The other thing is that there's continuous political gridlock and lack of immediate action to take care of this, and that, another pessimistic view is that Congress, right, they just keep kicking the can down the road. They're the ones that need to make the change, but they just keep kicking this can down the road. So there's kind of that negative side of this, is that, okay, hey, change is never going to happen. The trust fund's going to run out, and therefore, guess what? Gosh, if we go really pessimistic, Social Security is going to run out, and everything's going to be ruined. Then there's I'll call it the optimistic views that we could look at. And, some of the optimistic views is Social Security has been around for a long time, right? So there is some historical, I guess to say, resilience of the Social Security system. Another optimistic view is that reform will take place to avoid that it would be run out or that it would be cut. So reform or policy, there's going to be some sort of change to ensure that this system that's been in place for such a long time continues to be in place for the future. So what do I think about all of this, and what's my opinions? Well, first off, what do I think about all of this? I think, one, we just have to do a reality check. And we have to understand how Social Security works. Yes, the trust fund is projected to run out. I believe now they're saying 2033 or 2034. It changes, each and every year. The trust fund is scheduled to run out. However, you have to understand how Social Security works. And you see, the people that are working today, there's taxes collected from their check. The taxes that are collected from those checks is enough to fund 77% of the Social Security needs. So let's get rid of the major pessimistic view out there that Social Security is going to run out. It's not going to run out. As long as people are working, there's enough to fund 77% of the Social Security needs. So let's get rid of that major pessimistic view. So in my opinion, what's going to happen, and then, I didn't mention this at the beginning, but I also want to talk about everything and how it relates to you, right? We can talk about good views, we can talk about bad views, we can talk about my opinions, but more importantly, how does it relate to you? So first off, my opinion. Well, my opinion is that at some point in time, change will happen. Now, I feel like Congress just keeps kicking the can down the road because nobody wants to take a major stance on that, because if they do, guess what? Next thing you know, they're kind of putting their neck on the line, and they may or may not get voted in that next term. So they're going to keep kicking the can down the road, but at some point in time, the can's going to be so heavy that they can't kick it anymore, meaning the weight, the pressures of the Social Security system and having it run out and only being able to fund 77% of the current needs, it's just going to become so heavy that they won't be able to kick it down the road anymore, and they'll need to do something about it. And that's my opinion. Change will happen. It's just not going to happen right away. But there's too many people that rely on Social Security. For a lot of people, it makes up a significant portion of their retirement income. So letting it go away, letting it be reduced, I just don't see that happening. So that's my opinion on that. Could there be reductions? Maybe. I mean, there quite could be, but I would see that first, they might change by raising taxes or changing the cost of living adjustment or changing full retirement age. I think there's so many different changes that they could actually make and do before they'd have to actually cut Social Security. So how does this all relate to you? Well, one thing I want you to take away from this is don't make the big mistake of collecting your Social Security based on the fact that you think it's going to run out, go dry. They're not going to pay it out anymore. My opinions, again, just my opinions, but my opinion, don't make that big mistake. Instead, make your Social Security decisions based on changes that Congress might make. Now, one change is that they could change the tax system. That could potentially mean that your taxes or just taxes of those that are working go up. So, okay, might not impact your Social Security amount. But what if they actually were to reduce Social Security? That's a change that they could make. Well, how this relates to you is then, do you want to take Social Security early? You're already getting a reduced amount. So would you want to get a reduced amount on a reduced amount? Or do you want to delay your Social Security? Maybe take it later so that way if they do reduce it, at least you're getting a reduced amount on a higher amount. So there you go. My opinions in regards to the stability of the Social Security system. I think it's historically a system that's just part of our country here that needs to continue to go forward as so many people rely on it. So don't make those decisions based on it going away. I'm going to say, hey, let's stick with the optimistic views here, that glass half full view, that change will happen, and make your decisions based on change happening. Topic number 2 regarding the future of retirement in America is taxes. What does the future hold for tax rates over we'll call it the next decade or the next couple decades? Let's talk about the different views, right? That glass half full view when it comes to taxes. Well, an optimistic glass half full view when it comes to tax rates on the future of retirement in America is that, hey, we are in a growing economy. Yes, I know we have our ups and downs, but we're in a growing economy. And if the economy continues to grow, that could potentially lead to less need on heavy taxation of individuals. Also, some things on the optimistic side. I know that there's constant whispers and thoughts and news in regards to Congress taking initiatives to simplify the tax codes and simplify tax structures, which could help from a tax perspective over the next decade or couple decades. Now, how about the glass half empty view, that pessimistic view when it comes to tax rates in your future? I think the one that's very clear to all of us is that our national debt keeps growing and growing and growing. And if the national debt keeps growing, well, what does that do? That requires higher taxation to be able to pay down that debt in the future. And there's also constant pressure out there on the government to fund different social programs. Now, to fund those social programs, guess what? That could mean more taxes. And then there's always, different things put out there as well of different, let's say, deductions and credits that they want to eliminate, they want to reduce, they want to go away. So half full, we've got growth. If we continue to have growth in our economy, do we really need to raise taxes? Half empty is, hey, with these debts that we have going on, is that going to require higher taxation? And I know that you know me as a positive person, very optimistic here. And I told you, hey, we're in Thanksgiving week. Let's focus on that abundance, optimistic mindset. But I do have to just be honest with my opinions here. And I'm going to say it's glass half empty, but with a positive twist. So wait for the positive twist there. Why glass half empty here on tax rates and the future of tax rates? Well, I mean, it's just obvious. Debts in our country continue to go up. During COVID, right, we were printing money that we have not covered through debts. Instead, the national debt just went up, skyrocketed up. We didn't raise taxes to pay for it. We didn't make major changes to pay for it. If you go to, I believe it's nationaldebtclock.org, and you look at the U.S. debt, I mean, it just continues to climb up day after day after day. So debts keep going up, spending keeps going up. To me, at some point in time, we must raise taxes to start paying for that. Because if we don't, then we just become a nation of so much debt that just prints paper. And if we have so much debt and all we do is just print paper, well, then the paper, meaning your money, at some point in time is just not going to have any value to it. The value of what we have will be going down because we're just not paying off our debts. We're not becoming stronger. We're just becoming a country full of debt. So let's go into, my positive twist. Sorry to kind of go down that rabbit hole, but I want to give you my positive twist on this. And then in the end, talk about how all of this relates to you and your future. So the positive twist, even though I just said, hey, yes, I believe that tax rates will be going up in the future. It's just my opinion. The positive twist, though, is how do you take advantage of that? What can you do today to take advantage of current tax rates if you believe tax rates are going up in the future? How do you take advantage of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act? That lowered tax rates across the board. Right now, scheduled to expire the end of 2025. Are you looking at Roth conversions? Are you putting money into your Roth 401k? Are you considering tax strategies right now to help you reduce your tax burden? So if tax rates go up, guess what? You've already taken advantage of it. I think that's a great thing. I mean, we have clients doing Roth conversions, changing up their contributions, looking at strategies year after year after year, and we're putting a lot of focus on it before the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act end because, you know what? Let's take advantage of the positive things that are out there. The other positive twist here is I'm going to just say know the tax code or work with someone, I guess like us, that knows the tax code, that does know the tax code. Have you ever heard that phrase, what you don't know can't hurt you? Well, folks, when it comes to taxes, it's the opposite. What you don't know can hurt you. And if you do focus on knowing and understanding the tax code and how you can utilize that tax code and put strategies in place to lower your long-term tax burden, you're now putting yourself in a better tax future than where you're at today. So how does all of this then relate to you? My views on the future of America, future of retirement in America, and the future of tax rates in America? Well, one way that it relates to you is that we've got a couple years left here before the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act expire. Take advantage of that. Understand it. Work with someone that understands it. Are you putting all the strategies in place to help keep more of your hard-earned 401k, IRA, 403b in your pocket versus giving it to the IRS? The other way that this relates to you is just understanding where your money is saved today. Are you in a 401k? Are you in an IRA? Are you in a 403b, 457 plan? If so, the money that you have in those plans, none of that money has been taxed yet. And you have to understand that, meaning at some point in time when you decide to take that money out, that money is going to get taxed. Have you done a tax projection? Have you looked at what your required minimum distributions might be like in your future? Have you looked at what your taxable income will be at in your future versus where it's at today? Are there strategies like Roth conversions, charitable strategies that you should be implementing? Maybe are you putting your money, if you're still working, are you putting your money into the wrong bucket because the bucket that you're putting it in is going to cost you more in taxes in the future? Taxes continuously relate to all of you. As you know, my goal, we just want you to pay what you legally have to. We don't want you to leave the IRS a tip. And if so, take away from this, understand where your money sits today, understand what your taxes look like in the future, because we want you to help keep more of it in your pocket versus giving it to the IRS. All right, so our last topic when it comes to your future retirement is what does the next 5 to 10 years look like in the stock market? What are the positive views, the optimistic views, the glass half full views? What are those pessimistic views about the market? I'm going to tell you my opinion, and then again, we're going to relate all of this to you. First off, let's start with the glass half full this time. So the next 5 to 10 years in the stock market, the future of your retirement potentially leans a lot on the stock market. So what are we seeing? What are we hearing out there? Well, let's talk about some of the glass half full views. Glass half full, the optimistic views is that historical trends show overall growth for long periods of time. Potential positive impacts due to technological advancements, and just we're seeing a lot of global opportunity out there. And we just look back to history. Which way does the overall market trend? How do you feel about our economy? I mean, the United States economy. Let's just say you want to just keep it local here, right? I mean, I think we're an awesome country where we continue to come up with new technologies, new advancements, and people are working hard creating new products, new systems, new technologies, new things that just keep this economy turning. And yes, we go through some tough times, we go through some ups and downs, but we always come out of it stronger and stronger. And so that's my glass half full, or the glass half full kind of views, and kind of putting some of my twist in there as well. But of course, there's always the glass half empty views. There's always the pessimistic views when it comes to the next 5 to 10 years in the stock market. Right now, there's a lot of concerns about, I'll call it market overvaluation. There's always concerns when we see global uncertainties, wars taking place. And then on top of it, everybody keeps saying there's got to be a recession. There's got to be a recession. There's got to be a recession. And of course, then if you keep hearing that, how do you not think that there's got to be a recession? So here's the deal. Here's my opinion when it comes to the future of the markets. Yes, there's a lot of great views on both sides here. My opinion is if the market ups and downs scare you, if they make you nervous, if they make you feel uncomfortable, you always find someone that agrees with that, right? You're going to find somebody out there that agrees with your opinions that, well, the market's going to go down, the market's going to crash, the market's going to correct. I mean, heck, there's some, we call them out there perma-bears, right? Perma-bears, people that always think that the market's going to crash, that they always think the market's going to go down. And most likely, these people that are out there that are, I'll call it, marketing this information, this news, this information that you're reading or finding yourself reading that just agrees with your opinions because you're nervous or you're scared about the market, well, guess what? They're just trying to use your emotions. They're trying to compound those emotions so that way they can sell you something. I don't actually too often watch the news because I find, again, people are just trying to use the news to compound on your emotions to sell you something. But when I do turn it on and you're watching a commercial on a news channel, guess what? It's somebody potentially trying to sell you gold because they're going to scare you about the market and say, hey, gold is the thing to get into. And I'm not saying that there's right or wrong with what they're doing, but if you really take a step back and think about it, they're just trying to capitalize on your emotions. So first off, understand your emotions. And if you're a person who gets constantly nervous about the ups and downs in the market, constantly scared about the ups and downs in the market, think about your mind. Are you constantly thinking that the market's going to crash or go down? And then are you just reading more articles focused on that, or are you reading more articles focused on the positive? But I'm going to tell you what, you'll find the same on the positive side, kind of like the perma bulls, right? They're always going to tell you that no matter what, the market's going to go up, and ignore the perma bears. Here's the thing, and kind of my opinion to wrap this up. Short term, the market's always going to be volatile. You're always going to see ups and you're always going to see down short term. And sometimes those downs feel painful. Sometimes the ups feel great. But short term, the market's always going to be volatile. Ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. But long term, and when I say long term, 5 years or more, the market has a positive trend. And so one thing I want you to think about is how do you separate emotions versus logic? Emotions versus logic. How do you separate the short-term volatility from the long-term trend of positive upward movement? So how does this relate to you? One, separating emotions versus logic. Number two, have a strategy that takes the emotion out of it. Think about this. Have a strategy that helps you take the emotions out of it. So if we know that short term, if you're not on the permabull train, right? You're more of the person who gets super nervous, scared. Emotions really get to you when the markets are going up and down. Do you have a short-term bucket that you can go to that's not subject to the same volatility of the market? Do you have that short-term bucket that takes all of that thing that makes you scared or makes you nervous, that thing called volatility? You have a short-term bucket that takes all of that thing out of that fund. So you got a short-term bucket, funds that aren't subject to the same volatility as your long-term bucket, the growth bucket, the market bucket, that you understand has that positive trend over a longer period of time. Put a strategy behind your investments. In my opinion, the best way to do that is to align it with your income plan. And I think you'll find that'll help you take out all of these views about the market and put into place something that will help you and support you regarding your overall future. Hey, last today, I just want to say I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for you, the listener. I'm thankful for you taking the time to help improve your overall financial picture, taking the time to learn more, taking the time to be one step better when it comes to your finances and your retirement. I'm thankful for you taking the time to do that. If you've listened today and you've enjoyed today, hey, don't forget, subscribe as we come out with new episodes each and every week. And I look forward to our next visit to helping you maximize your retirement story.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Sierens Financial Management, Inc. Sierens Financial Group, Inc. is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management, LLC, AEWM, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Sierens Financial Management, Inc. are not subject to investment advisor requirements. AEWM and Sierens Financial Group, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as a sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences, including, but not limited to, a need for additional tax withholding or estimated tax payments, the loss of certain tax deductions and credits, and higher taxes on Social Security benefits and higher Medicare premiums. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA. Sierens Financial Group, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Sierens Financial Group, Inc.